Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Old Guy Firewood. My name is Dick, and it's an absolutely beautiful day here in North Carolina today. Clifford and I are enjoying our time out here in the wood yard. It's sunny, probably in the low 50s, and just perfect weather for working outside and cutting firewood. But what I want to talk to y'all about today, yesterday Matt over at Firewood on the Hill published a video, and he did a comparison of vertical splitter versus horizontal splitter, and it was a great video. If you haven't seen his channel, you need to check it out, Firewood on the Hill. And I left a comment for him and said how much I enjoyed the video. It was a great video, great comparison. And I mentioned I'd like to try the box wedge, split similar circumstances, similar size pieces of wood with the box wedge, and see how it compared. And he wrote back and he said, yeah, I'd like to see that too. So that's what I'm going to do today. I've got a horizontal splitter, and it's a commercial splitter. It's a great one. And I've also got this Eastonmade 2228 with the box wedge, and I'm going to use that today and make a comparison of how fast it splits, and then talk a little bit about the different kind of splitters. And I categorize it basically as three different kinds, and we'll talk about that. And they all have their pros and cons, and they all produce slightly different results. And I'll talk about that also, and try to give you a little bit of my insight anyway as to what works best for your particular situation. So let me go ahead and show you what we're working with here. Okay, I've got a couple oak rounds here, which are the same size as what Matt was using. His smaller one was about 16 inches. This one's right at 16, and the larger one was 23 inches. And this one is about the same, 23, 24 inches across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, start with the 16-inch round, and put it on the log lift on the Eastonmade 2228. And then we'll start timing just as he did, from the time that he lifted the log up onto the frame of the splitter, and we'll see how long it takes to split the round. And then we'll repeat that same process with this 24-inch oak round. So let me load this up, get the splitter started, and we'll see how it works out. Okay, we'll go ahead and run this 16-inch piece through first, and we'll start the timer right now. Big knot in there. Now I'll post the time that it took to split that round right here. Now here's the splits that came off that round, and I had the box wedge adjusted down, and that's the Eastonmade pizza box wedge, which is a 7-way wedge, and it splits a little bit smaller, but I had it adjusted to produce pieces in the 2 to 3 inch range. All right, I've got this 24-inch round on the log lift here. Let me go ahead and start the splitter up and get the conveyor going. And I'm going to put you back on the tripod, and we'll start the timer on this one when we lift it up and put it on the beam. All right, we'll start timing right now. Set. Here's the time it took to run that 24-inch round through the box wedge. That's a pretty nice pile of beautiful red oak firewood out of 2 rounds, a 16-inch round and a 24-inch round. Here's the scrap that came off the grizzly bars. A little bit more scrap right under the conveyor. And quite a bit of scrap back under the wedge. That was kind of interesting. And you know, as I said earlier when I started this video, as far as I'm concerned, there's 3 types of wood splitters, commercial wood splitters: horizontal, vertical, and then box wedge. And it depends what you're splitting and what you want to end up with. Now, as far as mass production, the Eastonmade 2228 with the box wedge was definitely faster. And I wrote down a few numbers. On the 16-inch rounds, the Eastonmade 2228 with the box wedge was 56 seconds faster splitting that round than the horizontal splitter, and 40 seconds faster than splitting that same round with the vertical splitter. Now, as you get into the 24-inch rounds, the Eastonmade box wedge was 1 minute and 45 seconds faster than the horizontal splitter, and 38 seconds faster than the vertical splitter. So you can see as you get into the bigger rounds, the time difference between the vertical splitter and the box wedge splitter tends to narrow, although the box wedge is still a little bit faster. The big advantage to the box wedge is that it is faster, and it has that pullback arm, so that, you know, the physical effort in splitting the wood is a lot less, because that pullback arm is pulling that big unsplit round back and dropping it back down and resplitting it, pulling it back. Whereas with the horizontal splitter, you really have to manhandle that. It's a lot of hard physical work to do, and it's slower. And with the vertical splitter, while it's approaching the same time, we're getting closer to the box wedge time, you still have to manage it a little bit. There's a little bit of physical work to manage it on the table. Much easier because it slides. You don't have to pick it up, pull it back. You just have to slide it on the table. So, you know, which one's better? There isn't really a true answer. It depends, again, what's your goal? Here's my thoughts. If you're splitting strictly for bundle wood, then the vertical splitter is probably the top choice, because you can split very accurately and you can split with a minimum amount of waste. So it produces beautiful bundle wood with very little waste, and it's relatively quick and relatively easy, because I say once you have the log lift and get the log up there, it's just a matter of sliding the round and the pieces of rounds as you split the pieces of splits to get the final product that you want. I think the box wedge with the pizza wedge is right behind the vertical splitter for bundle wood, because with that pizza box wedge, you can produce a lot of nice 2 to 3 inch size splits very quickly. The disadvantage to the box wedge is that it produces a lot of slash and a lot of scrap that you have to deal with, and dealing with that takes time. So that kind of offsets the quicker time that you can achieve with the box wedge versus the vertical splitter. So again, for strictly bundles, I think I'd go vertical splitter. I've run the Eastonmade Axis vertical splitter, and I'll tell you, it's nice, and you can produce some very clean, precise wood with it. And Matt's vertical splitter, it looks like you can do the same. If you're producing just bulk firewood for fireplace, recreational fire pits, not worried about bundle wood, then I would say the top choice would be the box wedge, because you can pump out a lot of good wood very quickly. Second choice would be the vertical splitter, because again, it's a little bit faster, appears to be a little bit faster in Matt's test than the horizontal splitter, and not too awfully difficult to manage the round once you get it up on the table. And the horizontal splitter with a 6-way wedge, 4-way wedge, will produce a lot of wood very quickly too. So if you're selling bulk wood, that's also a great choice. If you're selling half and half, I'd kind of lean towards the vertical splitter. As I said, I've run the Axis vertical splitter at Brad's, at Firewood at the Furnace, at the Frenzy a few weeks ago, and it splits nice, precise pieces, perfect for bundle wood. And I saw that with Matt's Wolfridge vertical splitter also. So you need to kind of figure out what you're going to be doing, what your end results need to be, and then choose your splitter. And of course, cost is a factor too with all these splitters. But the ideal situation, own all three, and then you can produce whatever you need to with whatever speed you need to. So if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, press that, give me a big thumbs up, press that like button, and please leave some comments about this video and the comparison, and what do you think? Are my thoughts off at all? I don't know. I feel pretty comfortable with what I've said, but let me know. And one thing I do know is this Eastonmade 2228 with this box wedge has been a game changer for me, because it's allowed me to keep splitting wood without so much physical activity and to produce it fast. So if you like this sort of thing, again, please subscribe, like, share with your friends, and as I always say at the end of all my videos, the best advice I can give you is to keep moving. So keep moving until the next one. Thank you.